It's time now for another episode of Field Forward, powered by Pioneer. Joining us here on this episode, he is the current secretary for the Missouri Soybean Association Board of Directors. Cody Brock is with us here today. Cody, good to talk with you. Hope all is well.
You bet. Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
I'd love to just real quick talk about how harvest has been in your area before we dive into a few other topics here today.
Yeah, honestly, it's progressed very quickly as the last few years have for us. We were able to finish up beans there a couple days ago, and got a few more days left on corn. But um, I've been telling my family my goal is I'll be home by Halloween. So
Well, that's always a good goal to have. Always a
yeah,
good
but
goal to have.
no, it's
Well,
been a good one. We've had good weather, and yields have been good. So yeah.
and thinking about those good yields, and you mentioned wrapping up soybeans. So let's talk a little bit about why you plant Pioneer brand Z Series soybeans, Cody.
You bet. So we started planting basically 100% Pioneer about 9 years ago, probably, and we started with the A series soybeans, and always had really good luck with them. And we put out a plot every year for them, and we saw a big difference between the A and the Z series soybeans in our plot. And then after looking over lots of plot data that my dealer presented to me, well, it was kind of a no brainer for us to switch. And they've definitely pleased us for the last couple years now. We've been basically, I think this year we were 90% Z series, and they're definitely holding up to their hype. They can really get out there and run.
Well, thinking about this growing season, and you mentioned, good yields on beans, but what were some of the biggest challenges out there for you? Weather, disease, pest pressure, et cetera, that you faced this season? And how did the Z Series soybeans perform amid some of those challenges compared to previous generations?
Yeah, so we actually got into a very dry, hot spell. Um, Basically, the month of August and the first part of September, uh, during a very critical grain fill period for soybeans and pod fill. And we were pretty leery going into harvest. We weren't real sure what was left out there after battling through that heat late summer and early fall. But honestly, they still performed very good. All things they went through with that, and the rust moving in late season, and how they held up to all that. It was we were still very pleased with the results.
Well, what's one thing you would tell other growers who are maybe considering planting Pioneer brand soybeans and other products in their fields next season? What would you tell them?
I think you got to at least give them a try. Find a local dealer and find somebody you trust, and at least give them a try. Like I said, they perform very well. Weed control is very easy now with the Enlist trait. They're the pioneers, I guess, if you will, of the Enlist. So and it's definitely working out in their favor. It's a great program that gives you a lot of flexibility when it comes to crop protection, and they can still get out and yield. So.
Well, and I think about this as well. Pioneer is going to be celebrating its 100-year anniversary in 2026. When you hear that, what does that mean to you as a farmer, Cody?
If you sit back and think about it and look at some other well-known seed companies, I don't know of too many that have been able to stick it out for 100 years and keep performing at the level that they are, and that's why they're able to stick around for 100 years, is because they've performed year in and year out, and always come out with good products, and they've done their research and remain steadfast in their goals and their vision. So I think it says a lot about pride and just like I said, how steadfast they are and how well they perform year in and year out.
Well, we appreciate some farmer thoughts on Pioneer brand soybeans and more. And I know folks can reach out by going to pioneer.com or contacting their local retailer or Pioneer representative. With that, Cody Brock, thanks for joining us here on another episode of Field Forward, brought to you by Pioneer.
You bet. Thank you. Have a great day.